Hey, how are y'all doing today? I hope everybody's staying safe and had a good Halloween. When I was at the, the AFW woodworking show in Atlanta a while back, I saw a spray booth that I wanted to buy. I've been meaning to get a nice one. I've been using a little temporary fold-up one, which I find myself not using when I should be, or stepping outside if I'm doing some large spraying. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and get one for the shop. There's a little area in the corner that I'm going to make some space in. I'm looking for like a 4 foot by 4 foot with charcoal filters is what I'm going to be getting. And I know the one I want, and I've done my research and all that. That'll be on another video someday when I can get to it. But for right now, I thought I'd go ahead and build myself a little temporary one. Nothing too big at all, like 2 foot by 2 foot. And what I'm going to do, I don't want to, it doesn't have a self-contained vacuum system. And I don't want to just put a box fan in the back of it. So I'm going to use one of my dust collectors as the air pulling system and pull the spray through some filters where I catch all the liquids in the filters, and I'm just using the dust collector for the vacuum of it, or the air suction portion of the spray booth. And the filters I'm going to use temporary are some carbon filters, so they will help dramatically with the smell, and they will catch all the liquids. You really wouldn't want all those liquids being sucked up into your dust collector if you're doing lacquer or something that's flammable. You darn sure don't want that getting sucked up through a motor into a dust collector. So again, I'm just using the dust collector for the vacuum source. Gonna catch all the overspray with the filters. And I'm gonna build a little wooden box for that. As you can see, like the trim behind me, if it's in this shop, it's going to have crown mold, and it's going to look nice. And I'm going to build it in such a way that I'm going to put a light in it. I'll go ahead and use one of those vapor-proof lights like they use for walk-in coolers and rooms with fume and paint booths and so on. Again, you don't want any flammable fumes getting near a hot light bulb. So that's the reason for that. And you could do this with a cardboard box. You could do it with a small little box that sat on the counter. I'm going to go ahead and build mine like a little freestanding cabinet, because when I get the permanent dust spray booth, gotta learn to speak. I tell you, can't make videos if you can't speak. But I guess that's just me. Anyway, I'm rambling on again. Little small 2 foot by 2 foot spray booth, so I can do my spray can work inside of a spray booth and keep better control of the overspray that gets into the air. So that's what I'm doing it for, so let's get at it. Alrighty? Oh, and by the way, y'all probably saw a while back in one of the videos, I had this old pair of boots sitting on the workbench that I wanted to refinish and get cleaned up. They look like a pair of boots, I know they do, except they're actually a concrete planter. So I wanted to clean them up and make them look pretty. So wanted to show y'all, got it all done. They came out real nice. Okay guys, I got them all cut. The two sides and the back. The top, the bottom, and the floating shelf are in the middle. So let me get set up and we'll get back. What I'm doing, guys, is I want my shelf to be adjustable between 22 inches AFF, which means above finished floor, to 22 to 37. So I'm putting a mark at 21. You'll see why in a minute. The line board machine needs an extra inch to play. There we go. Okay guys, this is a line bore machine. What it does is drill those holes for adjustable shelves. If you don't have one of these, you can simply do it with a Craig jig. Not that and a drill. Just takes a little longer, but back in the days I happened to build plenty of cabinets, so I have one. And I have it out on those slides. Remember I showed you how those tools all sit close together? Well, I pull it out and drop that little peg in right there. Lock it in back on that hole. And probably 12 feet of length to the left, and oh god, I ain't never gonna get 30 feet of wood to the right. So although the tools sit up close together, by doing it that way I can get as much length as I want. And what you have here on a line bore machine, sorry about the light, you have every other bit turned in the opposite direction. One is drilling to the right, one is drilling to the left. That's why they're orange and black. And that keeps, by the bits turning two different directions, it keeps from the machine wanting to move the wood around. And what you simply do is grab this handle and pull down on it. And it comes down and drills your holes all at once. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. You got to do things a little differently when you're trying to do them on a camera than when you're doing them. But this little pin on the end is how you line up. Remember I was telling you that 1 inch. Now I don't have to hold it there, but I'm trying to balance a camera. Right in that there. That's what a line board does. Now I got to scoot the camera out of the way for a minute to flip the board around. Alright guys, we're going to drill the second side. And again, we got to make sure we're right on that line. There we go. Cool. Now what I've done on the back side is I set the holes to be drilled a little farther out because there's a 3/4 inch back that goes on here. If I didn't and left it the same as the front, the back of the cabinet would run into the pegs. So if you're adding a back and you're putting your line bores in before you put the back on, pay attention to that and try and keep it in mind. Guys, what these are miter clamps. If you haven't seen one of these before, when it closes in, it squeezes the two boards together to hold a miter, or not a miter, a flat joint in place for you. Adjustable for thickness, and of course adjustable like a regular, what do you call them, grip wrench, vice wrench. And I've had them so long I forget, let's see. They're made by Strong Hand. And They've been abused and used, let me tell you. But they work. Hey guys, okay, I'm going to finish screwing off the sides and the top and the bottom of the box just like I did up there. Hopefully don't bust a finger with a screw while I'm doing it. And like I was saying, I'm building this little spray booth to take the place of my portable one because I never seem to take the time to set it up, and I really need to be using a little booth for those little small items that I do with the spray can. So that's the whole purpose of building this, and I'm not building it too big. The overall finished product is about 2 foot by 2 foot on the inside with about 5 foot of height. And I'm going to be putting 2 filters in the back and connecting it through the top through a 6-inch pipe that's taken off to the dust collector. And the filters will be catching the spray itself. I'm using carbon filters. Not that you need to use carbon filters, it'll just help with the smell a little bit. And I've actually ordered 2 charcoal carbon filters for it, but they're going to take a while to get here. They're going to come 20-inch by 20-inch. So the filters I'll be putting in the back of it are 20-inch by 20-inch. And I know I don't talk too much while I'm working, so I wanted to give you a little rundown on it here real quick. Okay, y'all, I got all the screws put in the box here. Let me give you a little look real quick. There we go. All screwed off everywhere. Didn't glue it, no reason to. I knew I was going to screw it. So, let me get at it. Hey, y'all. Okay, I put some leveler legs on the bottom of her. And on the inside here, everywhere you see inside of the black caulk is where the air will pass, being drawn out of this 6-inch hole from the top. And then the 2 grills will mount along the back here, stopping about 30 inches from the bottom, where the shelves will start. The adjustable shelf will be below them. The 2 grills will sit in this area right here, and where you see the wire passing through is for the internal light to go from the fixture up top to the switch, which will be down on the side. And what I did was I just cut up any scrap 3/4 inch plywood I had into 2-inch and 1.5 inch strips, burned them up, all my little scraps and strips, and then caulked all the joints so that it would be airtight. When I put the front covers on, I'll do the same. I won't be able to get inside them to caulk them, so I think I'll just glue it real well around the airtight areas. So, hey guys, I got it wired up for the switch now, the incoming and the outgoing, using number 12 SO cord, and for you electricians, yes, with SO connectors. Let me walk around the other side over here. Zip. Got the box all roughed in. That open space you see right here in the center, there's a 6-inch hole drilled in top of the cabinet, and it will draw air out of these 2 20-inch by 20-inch slots where the grills are going to go. So it's roughed in for that. Hey guys, I wanted to show you all that hole in the top of the cabinet while I had it leaned over. And I wanted to tell you one other little thing. Look at this sloppy mess right here. This is the top of the cabinet, and the reason I've done this when you're putting on crown mold and you can get to the top of it, you don't want to try and glue that crown mold as you're putting it up. It will slide all over, move around on you, just create a mess. If you can get to the top, come back on top with the liquid nail and put a bead around the miter where it touches the wood, and it will hold it forever. When that dries, that's the top of the cabinet, 7 foot up in the air. You won't ever see it, and especially being in a shop, if it gets bumped or something where you don't have a ceiling to nail the top of it to, and it works great. Wanted to let you know. Not going for looks, going for lasting. Hey y'all, okay, I got the trim put on it, the adjustable shelf put in here. The 2 grills will go right here. Top is all trimmed out. Electrical switch goes there, and I clear sealed the inside of that electrical box so that no spray vapors could get in there. Now I've got some paperwork I've got to go do, so Mr. Berto is going to put some sanding sealer and some clear urethane on here, 2 coats of sanding sealer. Wipe it down. I use a urethane base, or what you call an oil-based sanding sealer. It brings out the red and the red oak much better than a water-based sealer does. And then the urethane. And the urethane I use is what they make for floors. It holds up real well. Durable. It's not sprayed, it's just brushed. Nothing fancy. So, let me get at my paperwork and we'll get Berto sealing this thing up. Hey Berto, before you start the cabinet, everybody's been asking to meet you. So give all the people a nice big hello.
Hello, how you doing? Me, Berto.
There you go. Okay guys, Berto's going to put the sanding sealer on the cabinet. We're using the urethane based sanding sealer, so it's going to dry pretty quick. And then we're going to sand it down and brush on the urethane. Okay guys, we got the sanding sealer on. Like I said, this is a urethane based sanding sealer. Put it on with a brush or a rag. Okay, we're going to put the urethane on it now. Again, using an oil-based polyurethane brush finish. Lays down real smooth. I've had some people even think the finished product was sprayed. Say hello again, buddy. Hey, come on. People want to say hello. All right. Berto's working on the second coat there. Okay guys, Berto got it all glossed up for us here, and I put it in place against the wall and went ahead and connected the metal duct and put a little pull handle on the gate that hangs down so I can open and close the gate standing on the ground. Guys, when I want to open the gate for the spray booth, like I say, little handle made out of some 1-inch scrap aluminum that I had. Just open and close the gate. Works pretty good. The dust collector is hooked up on a remote. And you can feel the force when the dust collector's turned on. That's a 6-inch port coming off that cyclone all the way to this collector. Here it is with the light on, guys. The switch is mounted off to the side of the cabinet there. Just the light messes with the focusing on the camera, so I'll turn it off for the rest of this. Okay, here it is. It's all done. Mounted up. little temporary spray booth. Really needed one, so I thought I'd go ahead and get one done while I had the time. And I put a couple of little hanging hooks in here so I could hang little things when I needed to. And went ahead, made a few pieces of hanging wire at the assorted lengths and so on. Keep them handy, that way I don't have to go run and find one every time I need it. Hey guys, okay, I got that all done. I think it's going to work pretty good temporarily here for a while. And like I say, when I'm done and don't need it anymore, I'm going to go ahead and take the grills out of it and disconnect the duct from the top of it and cap it off and turn it into a storage cabinet. That way it doesn't go to waste or anything. And I built it in such a way that I can put more adjustable shelves in it, or fixed position shelves, and hang some doors on the front of it. Hope y'all liked it. And again, like I said, I'm not planning on any of the flammables getting up into the duct system and the liquids. Don't want that to happen. The filters I'm using are going to stop all of that. Just using the dust collector for the air source. Got the dust collector grounded. The metal pipe goes all the way within a few feet of the dust collector, and then for the vibration in the dust collector, I always want a piece of flex. So there's a sharp piece of flex between the hard pipe and the dust collector, which is that metal spiral flex, which again you attach to the metal and to the dust collector to keep it completely grounded all the way through. You should do that with all dust collecting systems, no matter what you're using it for. The rolling of the wood particles inside of the pipes can build up friction and electrical little sparks and charges, I've been told, although I've never had it happen. But I play it safe and keep it in metal and keep it grounded. If you do happen to build your dust collection pipe out of PVC or wood or something else, make sure you run a ground wire through it or around it. I recommend through it. And connect it on both ends. Okay, hope y'all enjoyed my little spray booth video. If you've got any other questions on it or anything, like I say, just my thoughts, my idea for myself. If y'all plan on building one, go ahead and read up on your dust collector and read up on spray booths and get your own knowledge. I'm probably forgetting something I should do, and as I get more informed on the subject, I'll make upgrades if need be. And thanks, guys. Got to get back to work on this little feather thing that I'm working on, and some Christmas bowls. See y'all in a little bit. Oh, and by the way, I have need for an adjustable height carving bench. And I can find some little adjustable height tables, but they're just not that sturdy enough. So I'm in the process of building one of those. And I'll show it to y'all in a little bit. Okay? Y'all have fun, guys, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks now.